They know where you are right now. They know what you searched for last night, what you're planning to buy next week, who you messaged this morning. They've read your emails, tracked your location, cataloged your desires. Google. The name sounds friendly, playful even, but make no mistake, this is the most powerful surveillance apparatus ever constructed in human history. And it all started with two graduate students who had a vision that would make Orwell seem unimaginative. 1998, Stanford University. While the world was obsessed with the coming millennium, two men were building something in the shadows. Larry Page, Sergey Brin, PhD, candidates who were supposed to be studying computer science, but instead became architects of the greatest data empire the world has ever seen. Their first creation wasn't even called Google, it was called BackRub. The name itself was a tell, a search engine that would crawl across the web's back, feeling every link, every connection, building a map of the entire digital universe. Page had an obsession. He wanted to download the entire internet, archive it, own it. Brin saw the mathematical beauty in the chaos. Together, they created an algorithm that didn't just find web pages, it ranked them, judged them, decided what humanity would see and what would be buried. PageRank. It sounds technical, boring even, but this was a weapon, a tool of absolute domination, disguised as a helpful librarian. Alta Vista was the king of search in those days. Yahoo was the gateway to the internet. They were giants, established, profitable, and Page and Brin killed them both. Not with marketing, not with funding, with mathematics. Cold, precise, ruthless. PageRank analyzed links like votes. The more sites that linked to you, the more important you were. Simple, elegant, and it made every other search engine look like a broken compass in a storm. Within months, BackRub was delivering results so accurate it felt like magic. Users started to whisper about it, this little project running on Stanford servers, this thing that actually worked. But here's what most people don't know. Page and Brin didn't want to build a company, they wanted to sell. Picture this, 1998. Two broke graduate students walking into the offices of Excite, one of the biggest web portals in the world. They've got a proposition. Buy our search technology. Take it off our hands so we can finish our PhDs and get on with our lives. The price? $1 million. The CEO of Excite, a man named George Bell, looked at their technology, looked at these two awkward kids with their superior algorithm, and he laughed them out of the room. Not interested. Yahoo got the same pitch. Larry and Sergey, desperate now, dropped their price. $750,000. Please, just take this off our hands. Yahoo's CEO didn't even bother with a formal rejection. These rejections, these moments of humiliation, they lit a fire. If the giants of the web didn't want to buy Google, then Google would destroy them instead. But there was a problem, a critical one. Google was good at search, great even. By 1999, they were handling 500,000 queries a day, but they weren't making any money, not a single dollar. Search was free, users loved that. But investors, they were getting nervous. This was the era of the dot-com bubble. Companies were burning through cash. The question everyone was asking was simple. How do you monetize a search engine without destroying the user experience? Page and Brin had a motto. 3 words they hung on their wall like scripture. Don't be evil. It was meant to separate them from the corporate monsters, from the Microsofts and the AOLs. They were different, pure, focused on organizing the world's information for the greater good. But then they discovered something beautiful, sinister, profitable advertising, not the banner ads that polluted every other website. No, something far more insidious, targeted advertising. 2000, Google launched AdWords. It was pitched as a win-win. Businesses could bid on keywords. When users searched for those terms, tiny text ads would appear, relevant, useful, non-intrusive. But here's the dark heart of it. Every search you made was data. Every click was information. Google wasn't just connecting you to websites anymore. It was studying you, learning your patterns, your preferences, your fears, your secrets, and then it was selling access to your attention to the highest bidder. You weren't the customer. You were the product. The advertisers were the customers. This is surveillance capitalism in its purest form. Give away the service for free, make it indispensable, and then monetize every single second of human attention that flows through your system. AdWords printed money. By 2001, Google was profitable. By 2003, they were dominant, but they were still private, still controlled by Page and Brin and their early investors. That was about to change. August 19th, 2004, the Google IPO. Wall Street had been waiting for this. The hottest tech company in the world finally going public. But Page and Brin weren't going to play by the normal rules. They despised investment banks, hated the idea of bankers getting rich off their work. So they structured the IPO as a Dutch auction. Let the market decide the price, cut out the middlemen. Wall Street was furious. The traditional IPO roadshow was a disaster. Page and Brin showed up late, gave vague answers. Sergey wore jeans and a t-shirt to meetings with billionaires. They didn't care about decorum, about respect. They had the power, and they knew it. And then, just before the IPO, they published a letter, the founder's letter. In it, they laid out their vision.
You see,
Google wasn't going to be a normal company. It would be run for the long term. It wouldn't be beholden to quarterly earnings. And it would retain a dual-class share structure, meaning Page and Brin would keep absolute voting control even after going public. Translation, we're taking your money, but you don't get a say in how we run this empire. The IPO priced at $85 a share. It raised almost $2 billion. By the end of the first day of trading, Page and Brin were billionaires, and they controlled the gateway to human knowledge. Let's be clear about what had just happened. Two men who started with a research project in a university lab now owned the most powerful information tool in human history. Every question asked on Google was a window into someone's mind. What are they curious about? What are they afraid of? What do they want to buy? Who do they want to become? Multiply that by billions of searches, every single day. Google didn't just organize information, it shaped reality. The top search result became truth. Page 2 might as well not exist. If Google, buried you, you disappeared. Competitors tried to fight back. Microsoft launched Bing. Yahoo tried to rebuild. Dozens of startups promised better search, more privacy, fairer algorithms. None of it mattered. Google had already won. They had the data. They had the users. They had the network effect that made leaving impossible. And they expanded. Gmail, Google Maps, YouTube, Android, Chrome. Every product, a new stream of data, a new window into your life. The algorithm that started as a way to rank web pages had evolved into something far more powerful, a system that could predict what you wanted before you even knew you wanted it. And that motto, "Don't be evil," it quietly disappeared from their code of conduct in 2015, replaced with something more corporate, more vague, do the right thing. But who decides what's right? The same two men who built an empire by cataloging every digital breath you take. Today, Google processes over 8 billion searches a day. It controls roughly 90% of the global search market. Its parent company, Alphabet, is worth over $1 trillion. Governments have tried to regulate it, sued it, fined it billions. None of it has mattered because we're addicted. We need Google to navigate the modern world. It's the lens through which we see reality. And that's the most chilling part of this story. Larry Page and Sergey Brin didn't just build a search engine. They built the central nervous system of human civilization. And it started in a garage with two grad students who were laughed out of boardrooms. They didn't get revenge with violence. They got revenge with vision. The all-seeing eye doesn't blink. It just watches and waits.